It doesn't matter if you're fitting a welding cage or a bolting cage. Motorsport UK regulations insist that you have a reinforcement plate welded to the shell. This has to be 3mm thick and it has to be 120 centimeters squared. This then is what your roll cage bolts to. These are the reinforcement plates supplied by Safety Devices. They're absolutely brilliant, nothing wrong with them. They meet those requirements. In theory, I just need to weld these to the shell and then I can bolt the roll cage through. However, I would really like to include the sills tube stands into those mounts and the seat belt mounts. So in this episode, watch me fabricate these. Sometimes I even amaze myself. Right, now I've got to figure out where the seat belt mount is. So I've roughly positioned the seat where I want it to be, but in the blue book the angle from where the seatbelt comes out through your seat to the anchor point is quite strict. So this is the standard seatbelt anchor point. I've just put the eye bolt through it, and I don't know, I'm going to wing it and say that's something like 50, 55 degrees, 45, something like that. Either way, it looks pretty good. I'm happy. Any screws in here is going to be happy with that. It's going to be the same for the one in the middle. However, let's go and have a look at the navigator seat. Now this navigator seat is put in basically as far back as it can go, but already you can see that this is where your seatbelt is going to come out, and the factory seatbelt point is here. which means the seatbelt's going to go forward. That's an absolute no-no. They not only would the scrutineer freak, but mainly it's just not going to work in an accident. So my plan is to drill 3 optional holes through this plate in the floor. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see a lot better than when it was in the car. So this is the point where the roll cage bolts to. This is the sill stand which protrudes inside. Obviously this is the standard seatbelt mount. So I need to make the seat frame mounts, and I could quite easily just weld these on wherever I want, whether I want to choose box section or tubing, I'm not quite sure yet. But I could easily weld those on, put the tops on, so that I can mount the seats onto them. The only problem with that is I'm really worried that once I've done it, I won't like the seating position, and then I'm kind of screwed because I can't move it. But also, I have no idea who's going to be sat in my navigator seat. My partner might have a go, she's kind of keen to have a go. I've got a mate that wants to go, and I'm kind of, you know, I'd like lots of people to have a go because it'll be quite interesting. And so because everybody's all different shapes and sizes, the navigator seat definitely needs to be adjustable forward and backwards. And of course at some point I'm going to sell this Mini, and people are different sizes, so it'd be nice for me to say that you can adjust the seat wherever you want. So I've seen them in other rally cars where they basically bolt the seat frames on, and this is the whole reason for me extending the roll cage frame all the way forwards. So if I weld whatever I want to weld onto this plate and put captive nuts behind, I can put one here, and if I don't like the way that this setup is, I can simply unbolt it, fabricate my new seat frame, bolt it back in place. So I definitely need one here. I definitely need one here. But I think I'm going to make a provision for another one here. Again, I'm just future-proofing it.